Quitting alcohol can be very challenging, especially within those first few days of that week when you start your journey. Well, in this video, I'm going to give you 5 essential tips to make sure that your first week journey of igniting your sobriety is a success. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Jamie Dottie Garza, and it's time to ignite your sobriety. I know as we start this new month in July, sometimes it's called Dry July. I just found this out literally over the weekend. I believe it was originated in Australia and is when people give up alcohol. So you might be sober curious. If you are, you landed on this video is on your timeline. That's what's up. If you're following this channel, I just want to give some essential tips because as I embarked over 800 days of sobriety last week, all these thoughts came in my mind, and I was thinking about where I started and what worked for me. And that's the intent of this video. I want to provide the best value and the best working things that work for me. No, I did not go to AA. I didn't go to sobriety meetings. I didn't seek help. I did this on my own. So I just want to lay that context there. I'm not a doctor or anything, but these are some of the tips that built my foundation to stay strong like I am now on my journey, and hopefully they can help you as well. The first tip, of course, is seeking support. Don't do this alone. Even when I was quote unquote alone, I felt alienated. However, I had great friends, 2 of my best friends, and of course at that time, my girlfriend, who is now my wife. These are people I communicated with every single day, and I still do to this day. And I let my intentions be known with them because they kept me accountable. And I never want to let the people I love down. Find someone you trust, and especially that support system, because it's going to get rough. You're going to have days where you're going to want to go back to your old habits. You're going to want to guzzle that beer. You're going to want to guzzle that Hennessy, whatever it may be. I'm very strong mentally, and I can encourage myself very well. However, nobody's perfect. And to have somebody in your corner to help encourage you, to lift you up, even when you may fall. I felt numerous times on my journey to finally getting it straight. I shared before, I started, I think in 2016, where I initially wanted to quit. I quit for about 90 days and fell back. Yeah, I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And it literally took me till 2022 to make the decision to completely be sober. And once I let my people know when I was having a rough day, they kept me motivated. They didn't encourage me to drink more. They kept me focused because I shared with them my goals. I shared why I'm doing this, and they kept me accountable. So if you can, it could be one person. Seek someone you trust, seek that support. The other part of this is establishing a routine. This has been the most fun part for me because I'm always constantly adding things to my routine, perfecting my routine. But the beauty about establishing a routine is it keeps you busy. It keeps you in mind and check of what you need to do and what needs to get done. And you can fill it with activities that engage your mind and your body. For example, my routine, I've actually woke up a bit earlier to start working out earlier. I wake up now at 6:30. I take my run because I got back into running. Again, these are things that keep me occupied, that keep me busy. First of all, I wake up, right? 6:30, I do my devotionals, I stretch. Usually I pray, I write down the things of my day. And then I'm out the door to run, between 2 to 5 miles in the morning. I'll get done at 8, around there, take a shower. I'll email out anybody I need to email. I'm running a business here, people. And I'll start my day at 9. Let's be honest, when the night comes and people go to sleep, these are when cravings may be the most intense. Oh, let me just go ahead and grab a beer real quick to relax and watch Netflix and do what you may have or whatever you've been programmed and been doing. Well, it takes discipline. And the more you fill your days with activities of mind and body and keeping yourself busy on things that actually matter, you'll see drastically how important this is going to be, not only during your first week, but throughout your journey of sobriety. So establish a routine, keep perfecting that routine, and start filling it with things that matter to you, things that you may have been putting on the back burner because alcohol was consuming too much of your time, too much of your energy, and not letting it be the best version, letting the best version of you glow up to the world. The next thing is to avoid triggers. Now, for me, I thought I could do this all in my head, like, oh, I know what to avoid, what not to avoid. But really, I had to get a pen and pad out and write down what my triggers were that made me want to drink. This could be certain places, certain people, certain situations. Whenever you go to that place, for example, I'm gonna use me. There's my favorite spot called Buffalo Moe's. They had the best Old Bay wings. Every time I would go there, I would associate a nice 10-piece Old Bay wings with a nice cold Stella or beer of my choice. And it was routine. Like, even if I would have been sober for a few weeks, I'd be like, oh, it's just one. I've been good. Let me pat myself on the back and have a brew. And I did that often. So when I had to break down exactly where my triggers were, it helped me be more disciplined to avoid so. I know I had to avoid some of my friends I was around often, and when especially I went fully sober, and it was all love, I still communicated with them, but I wasn't chilling with them because I wanted to be a better father. I wanted to be a better leader, a better husband, a better person for me and how God intended me to be. This was also a great point of also writing down things I wanted to achieve, things that I may have forgotten. I've forgotten that I was good at drawing. I got back into drawing for a bit. I wanted to express myself creatively more, so I started creating more content, vlogging, more video content on YouTube. I got into cooking recently. I got into cooking more. I've been tapping into more of my Guam Chamorro roots, and I've been looking up recipes, and I've been putting a lot of time into perfecting some of my cooking skills. And these are all things I attribute because of avoiding my triggers, but finding new things and things I always wanted to do with the time that was freed up because I'm not guzzling it down with alcohol. And that kind of goes into the next thing too, practicing self-care. This is a major key. We all know that alcohol can really be detrimental for your mental health. I've suffered from mental health for a very long time, and I did not realize that alcohol at the time, this was like 14 years before I got sober, was just deteriorating my mental. It was taking me out my glory. It was confusing me. I had thoughts of anxiety, depression. With the alcohol, it made it easier to trick myself in my mind. I'm a very confident person. I am a believer, right? I'm all these things, but with alcohol, I realized that it made it harder to have faith. It made it harder to appreciate and be grateful for the things I do have. I was always coming from a place of what I didn't, what I lacked. And it kept me in bondage for a while. Why I say that is because health isn't only physical. That's a plus, but it's also mental. And you gotta have some self-care days. There's some days where I listen to my body and I want to rest. And that's what I did over the weekend. Saturday, I had things to do. I acknowledged the Sabbath day. And you know what? I rested. I took 3 naps that day. Felt good, felt incredible. I did absolutely nothing, and I loved it. Sometimes you need that recharge, and that was a day I took for myself to reflect, to be thankful, and to be present with my family. It might look different for you. I know one of the biggest things I've got back into is running. My workout journey, I'm more disciplined now and want to take nutrition a lot more serious. So that's what I've been on these past few weeks. I've been running 18 to 20 miles every week, and I'm increasing. That's an outlet for me because when I work out, and when I improve my body and feel better about myself, you think I'm craving alcohol? I am not. And the more you work on your self-care, meditating, praying, working out, journaling, that was huge for me. The more confident you're going to be in your own skin, the more you're going to find out who you really are. And alcohol, when you strip that away, because more of the times than likely, alcohol is just confusing you. It's deceiving you. It's not the best version of you. It's tricking you. That's what it is. The poison is tricking you. Once you start finding out who you really are and who you were intended to be, it's going to become a lot easier. And the last part, of course, is to stay hydrated and nourish your body. Alcohol, I used to joke all the time, like, well, I'm drinking alcohol, and when I go piss, it's like clear, so I must be getting hydrated, right? That was my thought. Really, we need good hydration. We need natural water. Our bodies are filled with, I think, 70% blood, water. So we need to nourish that. Our body, I believe, I read, can go 21 days without eating, however, only 3 days without water. So with that being said, we want to keep ourselves full and hydrate. We have a lot of toxins, especially if you're someone like me. I was drinking like crazy, y'all. We're going to have to hydrate our bodies. We're going to have to start nourishing and replenishing our cells and everything our body was losing, those nutrients, because of alcohol. It was drying it out. It was the drought, like Lil Wayne's mixtape series back in the day. That was fire mixtapes, by the way. The drought is over. But start maybe juicing. Maybe you're getting into juicing. Get a juice maker. You know, juice up some veggies, some fruits. Maybe it's protein shakes. I got into protein shakes recently, and they're absolutely delicious. Going back to hydration and nourishing the body, putting great foods and sources in our body to sustain, to have more energy. You're going to realize you're going to have a natural more energy. I used to think alcohol gave me energy because it made me more energetic and loud and entertaining. That's full cap. I learned that out throughout the years, and I realized that my energy is on 1,000 when I eat healthier, when I'm putting more protein in my body, when I'm being more mindful of cutting out sugars in my body, of course cutting out that alcohol, and having a routine where I'm working out. I realize I have natural energy in me. I don't need energy drinks. I don't need nothing. Like, it's all within. In closing this video, whether you're sober curious, whether you've been drinking for 14 years, whatever your story is in between, I just want to motivate everybody out there that it takes a thought to want to slow down on drinking or quit alcohol. You're going to have to want it for yourself. You're going to have to dig deep and realize why you really want to do it. It's not just because you want to stop drinking. There's always a deeper why. For me, for example, I wanted to be a better man, serving God, better man, leader for my family, my wife and kids, and a better business owner for my community. You know, I wanted to perform at a higher level. And I see so many times that alcohol is just, you say something dumb, you might be tricked into lust, you might get in sticky situations, literally maybe. It's all these different things. You might say something harsh that you didn't mean. You might be an angry drunk, whatever it can be, right? But you're going to have to dig deep, and everyone has their own why. I want to motivate everybody that your first week will be intense. It will be tough. Your cravings are going to be out the roof. You're going to be tempted. You might be sweating when you sleep. These are all things I dealt with. If you drink a lot, you might be shaking, right? And you might want to seek medical help. I was hard-headed. I didn't know no better, but it was like 12 p.m. and I didn't have alcohol and I was shaking. It's like I was craving it. I wasn't even cold. It was summer. And you're going to have all these things. But I want you guys to focus and think about you are sober. Think about how you feel when you think about that. And hopefully these tips can help you during your first week so you can remain the course and keep igniting your sobriety. If you guys enjoyed this video, smash that like button. If you want to see more sobriety content, please consider subscribing so you never miss another video. Thank you guys. Ignite your sobriety.